Skyrim's map is riddled with not only things to do, but random things to stumble across, whether it's some bandits hiding out in a cave, an old lady living in the middle of the woods. It all feels like a convincing region of Tamriel where people actually live and breathe in this harsher northern region. Sure, it technically feels a bit older than a lot of the other games we're going to mention on this list, but it still has some taverns with interesting people, city streets with civilians and guards who react to you as they go about their day and go to sleep at night, blacksmiths hammer away all day, sawmills make lumber. As significant as you are in the story, like you as the Dragonborn are to this world, you can still just walk around and be in it. The Elder Scrolls games always just do a really good job of feeling like living, breathing places. But over at number 9, Assassin's Creed Syndicate. It's a vastly underrated Assassin's Creed game. Sure, it falls prey to a lot of the typical trappings of the open world games that people don't like, but still, it took a lot of lessons from the tech and systems built off from Assassin's Creed Unity and dropped it in an insanely big, detailed, and almost modern
game.
What
up, guys?
It takes place in London,
let me go grab something real quick.
1860s, basically the closest to modern times Assassin's Creed has ever been, and has all of the stuff of a world going through the Industrial Revolution you would come to expect. Soaring buildings, multiple stories, steel everywhere, factories working nonstop, a bustling main river crowded with boat traffic, shipping goods everywhere, pretty much accurately representing London, England as the powerhouse of the world it was in that period of time. Not only that, streets were wide and filled with not only detail on the sides of the streets and people, but bustling horse and carriage traffic. Thing that just seems very complicated to implement into a game like this. You don't see it in games that often, and yet here it is. All of this horse and buggy traffic. It's cool. People coming and going on the streets. And carriages of all shapes and sizes and purposes. Make it all feel so
My
alive.
dude.
Not only that, there's also trains that are persistently cruising around the whole map. It's a big, wide, polluted city with rich political districts, working class districts, factory zones.
Yo, that's what it is.
Areas that all feel
I gotta say thank you, bro, for giving me the work.
But like really lived in. It feels like a really old city bursting at the seams, and it's cool to experience. Now over at number 8, let's talk about Albion, the world of the Fable series, particularly Fable 1 and 2, because 3 was just kind of a rough game. But Albion is a very lived-in
I miss
world.
Fable. Fable was a good series,
I don't think people talk enough.
I played 1 and 2. I didn't play part 3.
Like comfortable and cozy these worlds feel. There's Oakvale, the charming little village filled with ancient stone walls, cobblestone paths, little wooden townhouses. People amble about throughout the day, each have their own home, and it feels like a fantasy village that has been.
Had to do some stuff after work.
Venture out into the woods and fields, and you'll find big.
Had to run a couple errands.
That look like they've been there forever, and really hammer home the game.
My main thing this afternoon was I had to get inspection stickers on my SUV, and I have a sedan. No, not a sedan. I have a coupe, like a old 2-door Monte Carlo, and I have a little SUV. And man, my inspections are back to back. Like I had to get the car inspected last month, then I had to get the truck inspected this month. So after work today, I just went by the. I know, man. But I swear, and that's what I be telling a lot of people too up here. Like, yo, down south, we don't have inspection and emission stickers on our vehicles. We just don't have to pay for that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's like $75 a year you gotta tax onto your car. Like some states don't have those stickers, yo. I know when I was living in Virginia, they got it worse down there. They got emission and inspection stickers, and you gotta have a front license plate. You gotta have two plates in your car. You gotta have a license plates on the back, and you gotta have tags on the front. So that way, a cop can still pull you over if he's in front of you. If a police officer is in front of you, he can just look in his rearview mirror and run your fucking tags like that. But it's extra money, yo. Like they charge you for all kind of extra weird shit when it comes to your fucking vehicles, yo. But South Carolina, yeah, man, motherfuckers don't have to have inspection stickers on their cars. Nobody don't give a fuck about that shit. But up here, you try riding around with some expired stickers on your shit. See if they won't pull you over. And the last time I got pulled over, I was speeding on the highway. A cop pulled me over. It was late at night too, yo. Wasn't nobody but me and him on the highway. He pulled me over, and he get out his vehicle. He come to the car, and the first thing he did, he pull out his flashlight and shine his fucking flashlight on my windshield to make sure my fucking stickers were up to date. Like they don't play with that shit up here, yo. So it's what, the 11th? I mean, you got the whole month to get it done, but I just went ahead and did my shit now. And then next month, I have to renew my license because my license expires next month. But to all the viewers in the stream, good afternoon. Appreciate y'all stopping by Art and Education to hang out with your boy, Trap House Entertainment. I'm currently working on the commission portrait for my homeboy, Puff on the Beats. I've known this cat for years, over a decade, yo. You know what I'm saying? Back when we was heavy. I'm music, bruh, so heavy in the music, yo. For a long stretch of time, yo, man, I only fuck with, like right now, how normally I only fuck with people who are into the arts. You gotta be, a painter, photographer, a sculptor, or something like that. Museums and galleries and exhibits. Those are the kind of people I fuck with. But 12, 15 years ago, I only fuck with people who making music. If you ain't writing, rapping, singing, producing, or mixing and mastering, like I don't need you on my squad. I ain't even got shit to fuck with you with. You know what I'm saying? Cause we was so heavy into the music. That was our shit. You know what I'm saying? Making music, and it was a good time in my life, yo. I met a lot of good people, yo. Honest, good-hearted, caring, loving people when I was making music. Y'all made so many friends during that period of my life. And my man Puff was one of them, yo. The beat maker. Puff on the beats. Bruh, like Puff had the hardest fucking beats, bro. You know what I'm saying? That shit, it was too fun back in the day, yo. I still remember the time, yo, Puff. I came through Columbia, and we was at Fat's crib, and motherfucker had goddamn Pastor Troy over that shit. Y'all don't know Pastor Troy. My nigga, what would you say? Ain't no more playing GA. My nigga, what would you say? Ain't no more playing GA. Yo, Pastor Troy was that dude for a minute, yo. Yo, they got on the track with Pastor Troy. It's like, yo, the shit was popping. It was popping. But I think, like, you know why Wu-Tang is forever? Wu-Tang will never die. The legacy of Wu-Tang will never die because it was a large group of dudes and they stuck together, yo, the whole time. They ain't never had no falling outs, and motherfuckers just kept making good music. That's fucking hard to do with so many different personality traits. I done watched interviews and I done seen like some personal footage from Wu-Tang where motherfuckers arguing, like Method Man and Ghostface arguing or some shit. It was like some heated shit too. But motherfuckers never let the shit turn into a beef. They never let the shit break Wu-Tang apart, yo. And that's why Wu-Tang is forever, yo. But That shit is rare to have 7, 8, 9 motherfuckers stay on the same page year in and year out. And I think what our situation was is just too many personalities. You know what I'm saying? We went in Wu Tang. It was a large group of us and a lot of talented motherfuckers, but personalities and different things, you know, just it kind of just died out after a while. I don't feel bad about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a really, really good time in my life. Really creative, being creatively productive, meeting other creative, intelligent, motivated, goal oriented individuals. Like it was sweet. It just came to a point where I had to figure out for myself, like, am I going to keep pushing this music shit, or am I going to do my art? You know, and I had to, just because my other homeboy, Colin Argyles, he was a beat producer, but he made music too, and he's a videographer. Like this motherfucker, make short films, movies. He like film, record, direct, edit all his shit, yo. Motherfucker rap. I remember one of his songs, man, yo. That shit was so fucking hot, yo. One of his, yo, he gave me his first mixtape, yo, and his whole mixtape was pretty good. But he had this one track, yo. Boy, I love that fucking track, yo. Damn, that shit was hot as shit. I gotta ask him for that shit, yo, or see if he got that shit online somewhere. But I'm about to message this nigga right now just because I can't think of that shit. Fucking spell check. My bad, guys. Let me do this real quick. All right. Bruh, just got a message for another commission. One of my young boys, he said he wanted a drawing. I don't really do drawings. My man said that shit on MySpace. I said, man, put that shit on YouTube, boy. What the fuck? Hey, yo, can you still download a MySpace app, yo? Let me see. Yo, MySpace don't even got no app. I don't even know what his MySpace tag is. Ex- Extended indefinitely. How they do that? I was thinking the same thing too. They're saying June of the. All right, so my license has to be renewed in June. They're saying June the 4th or the 5th. Like we're gonna raise all the stay-at-home orders, all the mandatory masks and everything on the 5th. So that means mid-June everything should be back to normal. The DMV should be open. I should be able to just go up there and get the shit done in person. But at the same time, this shit changes day to day, week to week. They're saying June 4th, but when they said it was April something. Then they said May something. Now it's June something. And then June 5th comes around, they're gonna be like, okay, we're gonna wait till May 1st before we reopen all the states. And it's like, I don't know what the fuck to think now. Yoko Yoko Ono. Yo, my bad guys. I didn't realize the chat stopped, yo. Yo, motherfucking Sean, I feel what you're saying, bro. You know what I'm saying? It'll get to the point where it'll get it'll get to the point where let me read this quote. Put a quote on my Facebook. Nobody changes until the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the pain of change. Change is rough. That shit hurts. You got to get readjusted, acclimated to new conditions, situations, circumstances, priorities. Motherfuckers don't like change, bro. But when staying in the same spot, when that shit ain't doing nothing for you, it's easier to accept the change. It's way easier to accept change then because staying the same is more painful. I don't like this shit no more. This shit stressing me out. It's not working. It's bearing down on me. I need something different. And change will come, but nobody changes until the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the pain of change. This motherfucker say, fuck this same old bullshit. I'm done. I'm done. Thank you. Fuck you. You're an asshole. But I'm out, guys. Peace. Alright, see if my homie gave me his. Yo, the track. Let me see. Oh, think I got him. Boy, I think I got it. Yo. You won't let me do it. You won't let me do this shit, yo. It says I have to have a MySpace account to fucking do anything on MySpace. I never had a MySpace account. I didn't think people still use this shit.
It's like really good, cozy fall tone. And then, of course, there's Bowerstone, the big city of the original game and the even bigger city from Fable 2. Bowerstone has the same bustle of NPCs, but it's richly detailed. The ancient cobblestone city has high castle walls, ramshackle buildings tucked in, some interesting vegetation growing in weird places, and also a lot of chickens. Fast forward 500 years to that same Bowerstone in Fable 2, and the city is absolutely massive and feels like a giant urban sprawled maze filled with secrets of worn paths, lots of bands of people living in alleyways, shops, nobles, and soaring buildings, and an epic castle. It doesn't feel like realistically alive, but it does still have a lot of life, if that makes sense. This is really only scratching the surface of everything Albion has to offer in terms of convincing locations, but yeah, we love Fable and its world. Next over at number 7, Grand Theft Auto 5's entire state of San Andreas, of course. The city of Los Santos and its surrounding regions are riddled with fun details and wacky pedestrians. The world just feels so lived in thanks to the fact that there is so much hidden beneath the surface. I mean, literally, there are secrets in the ocean if you're willing to explore them. Not only that, though, just hidden corners of the map. Woods, mountains, there's always something weird to find. Now, of course, the city of Los Santos feels unique and alive, people bustling around, cars, traffic, typical open world crime game stuff. They have a really nice eye for detail down to homeless people sheltering themselves and the Hollywood upper class being themselves. But Grand Theft Auto 5 is also unique for pulling off the less populated rural areas and making them feel like people actually live there, not just like a boring flat landscape with a few trailers like many other games simply do it. No. Up by Sandy Shores in particular, yes, it's mostly trailer parks, but with convenience stores, strip malls, parking lots, and abandoned buildings, it really makes you feel like a place people exist in and not just a goofy parody. Grand Theft Auto 4 and 5 in particular just feel like convincing real places, even if the majority of your interaction with people is just blowing them up. Now, over at number 6, let's talk about Sleeping Dogs. The Hong Kong depicted in Sleeping Dogs isn't like a one-to-one accurate or meticulous recreation or anything like that, but it works so hard to make you feel the bustle of one of the biggest metropolitan areas in Asia. The developers did do tons of research in person and took hundreds of thousands of photographs to nail the vibe and feel accurately. This city area is split into 4 districts that all feel distinctly different, and throughout there are like packed highways, bustling, narrow city streets filled with people and umbrellas, tons of details like market stalls, wet markets, convenience stores, people selling their wares, electrical boxes, wires, trash, tons of neon signs beautifully reflecting onto the rain-soaked streets. The coastal areas have busy fisheries modeled after the ones in real life. It's a stylized city, a video game city, yeah, but you really feel the hustle of it despite the game's age. Play the remastered version. It's really great. Let's move on to number 5 and talk about Yakuza. This
That shit's so stupid, yeah. That shit. I'm not even trying anymore. Not even trying. Of course. Yeah, it's crazy. I can't even get on MySpace. That shit's so fucking old, yeah. My homie said that's the only place he got that old music at is on his MySpace page. I can't even get on that shit, yo. I don't know why I was thinking about one of his old tracks, but I wanted to hear that shit bad as hell just now. Yeah. Hey. 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 All right. I couldn't come straight home from work because I had to go to the shop and get some shit done in my car. I'm gonna hop right into the painting, guys. At least try to get this yellow part done and just finish filling in the rest of the shirt. And once I get the shirt filled in, and then I still might do the background because for this hand here, yeah, I'm gonna do the shirt and then paint the back, and then I'll come and finish her hands. Hey, hey, yeah. Cause we stay in a trap house. We stay in a trap house. We stay in a trap house, yeah. We stay in a trap house. And we stay in a trap house. We stay in a trap house, yeah. Hey, hey.
shit, you think it's sad. I'm old nickel, old five. But ain't shit changed, yo. Yeah, okay. Alright. This one like this one like this here. Yeah. Ain't nothing but laying down here. I'm the man down here. I'ma show y'all bitches how this shit get ran down here. Bam down here. We can bam down here. And y'all niggas is softer than them yams down here. You can't stand down here. Niggas scram from around here. Ain't nothing but laying down here. South Carolina. You been them dirty pies and never find it. And if it ain't
Whoa. Back to the top with that shit, boy. What did he say? Man, listen, boy. Y'all ain't want to fuck them Carolina boys. I don't know why ain't nobody from South Carolina never blew, but yo, we had animals on the mic, yo. You can't, yo. Honestly, I ain't gonna lie, yo. This is my favorite rapper from South Carolina, yo. I'm so disappointed, like the world don't know this nigga name, yo. Like everybody should know this. He should be a household name, like Lil Wayne, like Jay-Z. Like these new cats, like J. Cole from North Carolina. You got DaBaby from North Carolina. Like motherfuckers should be like, oh, Sab Young from South Carolina. But nobody don't know Sab Young, yo. Like that shit crazy, bro. Sab Young. Should avoid beef. Spit on any beat, nigga. That country. But this shit so old, man. This song right here like 15 years old, man. 15 years ago, nigga was spitting like this, yo, crazy. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing but man down here. I'm the man down here. I'ma show y'all bitches how this. Oh my god, that shit turned off. Bam down here, we can bam down in them yams. Stand down here, niggas scram from around here. Ain't nothing but land down here, South Carolina. You been them dirty pies and never find it. And if it ain't a stick of fries, it's a barbed wire. I rap some villains, so y'all get pissed on like bad kidneys. And it's just a coming in me, niggas going to park dealing. You start silly, praying illy with your ice grilling. How y'all niggas pushing up lilies, and I pray the Lord forgive me. Even if y'all niggas they kill me, the COC avenge me. With guns aplenty, nigga SAB to squeeze them in. Let me hold that, I hold it down with the Dolax. Any nigga in the getting fold back, and smoke like a madness. And have your ass wishing that your mama miscarried. And never thought of marriage, so the seed was never planted. And you never hit the planet, niggas never could stand it. Hitting harder than your grass sucker, hitting in your last supper, harder than your ass sucker. Watching Chris Tucker spit the Dutcher. I spit some shit rougher than them dungaree. Jeans won by Buddy Lee because of me, you see the feet. Losing battles like your baby teeth and let them play the beat. I slay them seats from 803 to DC. And one swing, and that's what's embarrassing. You thinking this was savage beef, and then you met a savage beast that laid you with a crab will be. It ain't no problem to handle me. I get down like piano key. You don't want to band with these gorillas in banana tree. Keep that through y'all thick skulls. Y'all niggas is just scrubs that just misdone. What y'all in the midst of? Y'all dogs is just pups. Y'all niggas is just mutts. All y'all chickens get plucked, and all y'all killers get snuffed when the herds coming through. Got y'all herds by the tools. Where's possums and his fools? They ain't heard of 22. And I heard up on the news that you got hurt up in the room. That the street sweeper move the crowd like dirt up on the broom. But we ain't gotta talk about it. I can sit and spark about it and stop your heart from pounding. Lay them out and talk around them. Had a time talking about them. Riding down in South Carolina, better known as down the bottom. Never when they probably find them. Man down here, I'm the man down here. I'ma show y'all bitches how this shit get ran down here. The whole bam down here, we can bam down here. And y'all niggas is softer than them yams down here. You can't stand down here. Niggas scram from around here. Ain't nothing but land down here, South Carolina. You been them dirty pies and never find it. And if it ain't a stick of fries, it's a barbed wire. Yo, learn the letters and know the name. SAB Sab Young. You know what I'm talking about. South Carolina, bitch. It's us. Yo, you should avoid beef. Album in stores, January, February, nigga. This the mixtape, nigga. If you pay more than $5 fucking for this shit, you got shit it, nigga. If you ain't got the cover, nigga, you got shit it, nigga. Huh? If you get it at the bootleg, nigga, that shit got a little skip in the, you know what I'm saying? The skip in the middle of the shit, that shit ain't hard to plan. It's low on one side.
bitches go for the low, nigga. Huh? South Carolina got me, nigga. Everybody named mama get one, nigga. And when you scratch it, come see your boy to get another one. Cause somebody gon' steal it out your tape deck. No, mama.
I'm gonna just run that back one more time. The bars is crazy. Y'all can't fuck with these dudes, bro.
Whatever happened to the acres and that pine cone shit you was thinking sad? It's that whole nickel, whole fire. But that shit changed, yo. Okay. They just heard this like this, huh? Yeah, ain't nothing but laying down here. I'm the man down here. I'ma show y'all bitches how this shit get ran down here. The whole fam down here. We can bam down here. And y'all niggas is softer than them yams down here. You can't stand down here. Niggas spraying from around here. Ain't nothing but land down here. South Carolina. You been them dirty pies and never find you. And if it ain't a stick of flies, it's a barbed wire. Yeah, I rap civilians so y'all get pissed on like bad kidneys. And it's just a coming in me, niggas gone to part dealing. You start silly, running illy with your ice grilling. How y'all niggas pushing up lilies and I pray the Lord forgive me. Even if y'all niggas didn't kill me, the COC avenge me. With guns aplenty, nigga SAB and squeeze them in and let me hold that. I hold it down with the dough latch. Any nigga in there getting fold back, the smoke like a flow map. See the bitch and you and I expose that. Dr. Carolina blowing gas and we'll know that. I smoke a whole all out the mold, rockin' low to watch my foes open, they gon' rock and roll. The vodka got me out control. Guns is out, I'm about to blow, cause ones is out, I'm out for more. My funds is down to out to know. I speak the English 40 before you know the 44. With bloody y'all niggas clothes with more holes than their honeycomb. You think it's funny, home? I break them fucking funny bone. See the shit that money on, you wake up with your money bone. Man out here, I done.
The 44 will bloody your clothes with more holes than honeycombs. You think it's funny, Holmes? Yo. Yo. My man was a beast. Yo, my good man. What's up, bro? What it do? What it do? Let me catch that ball. Man, I love this song so much. Yo, I hate when I get nostalgic and start listening to our old music. Cause I do this shit for hours, bro. I listen to the same song. Like my man Hot Sauce, he had this one hot ass song, yo. I know I listened to that shit like 13 times in a row. I got Nas's Nostradamus. Yo, that album like 20 years old. I put that shit on my CD player in the car the other week, yo. Track number 2, yo. Man, I know I listened to track number 2 like 50 fucking times without listening to nothing else, yo. Every time the song go off, I just play that shit right back, yo. Like for like a week, listen to the same fucking song, yo. I get real nostalgic sometimes. But yo, my man Sab Young, like I know this dude, yo. I only met him like one time. We ain't friends, but I met the dude, yo. Like man, but he from the state, yo, and not far from where I grew up at, yo. Nigga he was just hard with this shit, but he was that nigga though, one of them hood niggas. Motherfucker went to jail. He did like some years, yo, and that shit kind of fucked him up. You know, when he came back out, like he was trying to get his traction back, and then I think he moved to New York or something, man. This is just hearsay. This is stories that I heard from somebody else who knows him better than I do, who like know him because they from the same fucking from the town and shit. And he was like, yo, when he got out of jail, he moved away, started fucking with some cats in New York. You know what I'm saying? They liked what he was doing, you know, but he kind of changed his styles, started sounding like the up north niggas, and they put out a couple of tracks, but after that, like, he ain't never really get back like how it was. Cause right before he went away, yo, he was that dude. He was that dude, yo. And he had some shit with the one boy, DJ B Lord, and B Lord was like the biggest DJ in the state, yo. He was actually on Rap City like a couple of times, yo. He was on like Rap City like 3 times back in the day. And so motherfuckers knew B Lord, yo, and B Lord had connects and shit, but he was acting, I don't know, he he never wanted nobody else from the state to shine, yo. He just wanted to be like, he wanted to be the superstar, the DJ. But my man Sab Young, like he did a mixtape with B Lord, but I don't know. I don't think B Lord promote that shit the right way or whatever, yo. Whatever reasons, and mostly unbeknownst to me, like my man ain't never really make it though. Like, and that's the fucked up thing about South Carolina, yo. We ain't got no claim to fame. Hootie and the Blowfish.
I'm out for more, my funds are down the out to know I speak the English 40 before you know the 44 with bloody y'all niggas clothes with more holes than that honeycomb. You think it's funny, home? I break them fucking funny bones. See the shit that money on, you wake up, which ain't nothing gone. Man down here, I'm the man down here. I'ma show y'all bitches how this shit get ran down here. The whole band down here, we can band down here. And y'all niggas is softer than them yams down here. You can't stand down here. Niggas crying from around here. Ain't nothing but land down here, South Carolina. You been them dirty pies and never find it. And if it ain't a stick of bars, it's a barbed wire. Now if I told you off the dick you wasn't fucking with the average, then you know before you challenge that I'm leaving you embarrassed. And I get your ass open like I'm putting in your cabinet. And have your ass wishing that your mama miscarried. And never thought of marriage, so the seed was never planted. And you never hit the planet. Niggas never could stand it. Hitting harder than your brass knuckles. Hitting in your last couple. Harder than your ass chuckle. Watching Chris Tucker spit the Dutcher. I spit some shit rougher than them dungaree. Jeans won by Buddy Lee because of me. You see the feet. Losing battles like your baby teeth and let them play the beat. I slay them seats from 803 to DC. And one swing and that's what's embarrassing. You thinking this was average beef and then you met a savage beef that lays you want to grab a beat. It ain't no problem to handle me. I get down like piano key. You don't want to band with these gorillas in banana tree. Get that through y'all thick skull. Y'all niggas is just scrubs that just misdone. What y'all in the midst of? Y'all dogs is just pups. Y'all niggas is just mutts. All y'all chickens get plucked and all y'all killers get snuffed when the herds coming through. Got y'all herds by the tools. Where's possums and his fools? They ain't heard of 22. And I heard up on the news that you got hurt up in the boom. Said the street sweeper moved the crowd like dirt up on the broom. But we ain't gotta talk about it. I can sit and spark about it and stop your heart from pounding. Lay him out and talk around him. Had a time talking about him. Riding down to South Carolina, better known as down the bottom. Never's where they probably find him. Man down here, I'm the man down here. I'ma show y'all bitches how this shit get ran down here. The whole band down here. We can bam down here. And y'all niggas is softer than them yams down.
Yeah. He ain't never get locked up. I know. That's what I'm saying, man. I know y'all know these niggas, yo. But I swear, like I say, man. I may be mismistaken, but that's what Julio told me, yo. It's hearsay, yeah. Cause I met Sab Young one time. I don't really know the cat, but the story that I heard. Oh yeah. And that's what I know. Like y'all niggas grew up together, yo. A old Joan, yeah. That's what's up, bro. I'm telling you, man. I be getting nostalgic, bro. Mm-hmm. Oh, bruh. Oh, damn. That's love, dude. That's crazy love, bro. I know it. I know it. Oh, I already know. Yo, that's what's up, yo. Oh, it's all good. I know, man. Yo, Sony been like that for it's been like that for a minute, bro. And yo, every time I stream, dude, it's like the second or third try. Like when I start the stream up, it'll connect and then it'll disconnect me. It'll do it at least one or two times. Like today, it got through on the second try, but yesterday it took me like three times. And bro, I told somebody, I told like my friend that I was like, yo, things are gonna be real different with people working from home. It's gonna slow down internet and phone service and stuff. She's like, I don't think this and I don't think that. I'm like, okay, you'll see. And recently I get more drop calls and connectivity, like you said, because everybody's using their home networks trying to work from home, yo. Okay. Yeah, cause yeah, going like straight to the. Oh, okay. Mm. Hmm. Yeah, I know it. I know it. The tech guy. All right. Peace, bro. Let me see if you got some other shit on here.
Them yams down here, you can't stand down here. Niggas grand from round here, ain't nothing but land down here. South Carolina, you been them dirty pines and never find shit. The question posed by some. Now who the fuck is Sav Young? I do it, get it done the way you supposed to get it done. Who get them open on the ones that young, young. Regardless of your rap steez, ain't many that can match me. Get strapped like Apache, ain't got the heart to attack me or enough ass to clap me. Not even in y'all fag dreams, y'all could even tag team. Finna be some drag queens, ring sack scene. Spit sick without a vaccine. Run whoa, 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 wait, wait. I do it, get it done the way you supposed to get it done. Who get them open on the ones that young, young. Regardless of your rap steez, ain't many that can match me. Get strapped like Apache, ain't got the heart to attack me or enough ass to clap me. Not even in y'all fag dreams, y'all could even tag team. Finna be some drag queens, bring sack scene. Spit sick without a vaccine. Run around these tracks like athletes that attract me. Weed guns, the ones attract me. Who wanna clap me? The type that's hard to bleed, the hard to speak. Time to start the beat. Niggas want no parts of me. Sober drunk or sparking weed. You see me on or off the beat. Approaching me is cautiously. You ain't seen a nigga dark as me. Got the heart to start the beat for enough heat to spark at me. Dog, y'all too much bar for me. Home is where you ought to be. To your back to 30 ought to be. I'ma beat you out your wannabes. Heat and chillin' out of reach. I spit till I'm out of speech. Smoking till I'm about to geek. Oh, heat till I'm out to beat. Let me see you about to reach. I'm guaranteed to pop the piece. You get popped like high grease. Spit like not knees. How y'all plan to stop me? Imitation sloppy. Y'all cats can't copy or mock me. You got me? I speak it how I see it, cause see it is believing. If I heard it, can't confirm it, cause a nigga word ain't worth shit. You see them liars? Well, who you know that's spit the fire? Who you know that spit it tied out of South Carolina? I speak it how I see it, cause see it is believing. If I heard it, can't confirm it, cause a nigga word ain't worth shit. I do it, get it done the way you supposed to get it done. And I'm open on the ones that young, young, coming off like finger I'm talking about. I blow up my opponents, blow weed out coronas. I blow heat that's leaving holes inside the donuts and grown-ups. Ain't cuz that want it, gon' need some blood from donors. Ain't no love up on it, you want the water, tuck on it. For who having problems, I have revolvers that'll solve them. Have them bleed redder than them robbers. Have them leaving hobbling. Niggas wanna beef but can't gobble it. Sad young swallow it and spin out holler shit. Zero tolerance.
This nigga said gobbling and hobbling and yo, who? Oh my god! And I stand corrected. My man never did no bid, no jail time. You know what I'm saying? Other situations and circumstances just prevented my man from becoming a household name. You know what I'm saying? I still feel like the world should know this nigga. Everybody should know. Saying what he just say? I'm spitting to him, I'm slobbering and oh my! Wait a minute. Say it again, Sal. I ain't heard it. I ain't heard it the first time.
That want it, gon' need some blood from donors. Ain't no love up on it. You want the water, tuck on it. For who having problems, I have revolvers that'll solve them. Have them bleed redder than them robbers. Have them leaving hobbling. Niggas wanna beef but can't gobble it. Sad young swallow it and spin out holler shit. Zero tolerance, you getting clobbered in these columns. If y'all niggas spitting and I'm slobbering, defeat is not an option. Plus my diagnostic label toxic. Hotter than the tropics when I drop shit. Watch this fire. That's what I'm on. I never lied up. That's where I'm from. A nigga tired of. Nah, they ain't none. They a liar. And they gon' burn with the fire. That's what I'm on. I never lied up. That's where I'm from. A nigga tired of. Nah, they ain't none. They a liar. And they gon' burn. Oh, what the pen do? For insubordination, I'ma end you. Y'all niggas just a plate. I'm like the menu. Take it to the pencil. To be like manslaughter, me against you. Regardless of credentials, I been you. Live conversations, hotter than the basement of Satan. The livest of these statements in the making. We off to the races. My competition stuck on steady paces. Hit hard like bricks up amazing. Spit ice like the glaciers. Labeled in the league amongst the mazes. We on your best behavior in my staple. My cattle run the livestock. While we on the road, y'all play the sidewalk. All y'all finna fire from the flame when the mind's more. Fire, that's what I'm on. I never lied up. That's where I'm from. A nigga tired.
All right,
Now who
okay.
the fuck is Sav Young? I do it.
Okay. Now, I want y'all to just be honest with me now. Is it just me? And be honest, man. Is it just me? Or is this like some of the hottest shit you ever heard? You're like, especially with the country grammar, that deep southern slang, that deep southern accent. This nigga got this southern. You know he from the South. You can hear that shit in his voice, yo. Just how he say his words, yo. Come on, man. This nigga like T.I., yo. Is it just me? Am I gassing my man up? I don't know, man. Yo. Once again, yo, Sal Young, honestly, I personally know a lot of hot MCs from the South. I know some MCs that still kicking that shit right now. But if I had to make my top 5, I could put 5 people on my list. I don't give a fuck if Sab Young don't ever spit another verse a day in his life. He gonna be from your top 5 MCs from South Carolina, yo. Sab Young gonna be on the top of my list, yo. I can throw 4 more people on there. I can show as hell do that shit. I probably won't even make not even probably. Honestly, I don't even make my top 5. That's how many hot ass MCs I know from my state, yo. And once again, I just find it so weird and so awkward that we ain't got nobody like that, like in the mainstream from the state. Even Colorado got goddamn Flowbots. You know what I'm saying? I had Flowbots. I had their first 2 albums. Paid for it cash. I bought the CDs, man. Flowbots, Colorado. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, I want to listen to some Flowbots now. I can ride my bike with no handlebars. No handlebars. Never mind.
Get it done the way you supposed to get it done. Who get them open on the ones that young. Regardless of your rap steez, ain't many that can match me. Get stabbed like Apache. Ain't got the heart to attack me or enough gas to clap me. Not even in y'all bag dreams, y'all could even tag team. There's gonna be some drag queens, bring sack scene. Spit sick without a vaccine. Run around these tracks like athletes that attract me. Weed guns, the ones that attract me. Who wanna clap me? The type that's hard to bleed, the hard to speak. The type to start to beat. Niggas want no parts of me. Sober drunk or sparking weed. You see me on or off the beat. Approaching me is cautiously. You ain't seen a nigga dark as me. Got the heart to start the beat. For enough, he was a spark at me. Dog, y'all too much far for me. Home is where you ought to be. To go back to 30 ought to be. I'ma beat you out your wallabies. He done chillin' out of reach. I spit till I'm out of speech. Smoking till I'm about to geek. Oh, he till I'm out to beat. Let me see you about to reach. I'm guaranteed to pop the beat. You get popped like hot grease. Spit like knock knees. How y'all plan to stop me? Imitation sloppy. Y'all can't copy or mock me. Y'all niggas got me. I speak how I see it, cause see it is believing. If I heard it, can't confirm it, cause a nigga word ain't worth shit. You see them liars? Well, who you know that spit the fire? Who you know that spit it tied out of South Carolina? I speak how I see it, cause see it is believing. If I heard it, can't confirm it, cause a nigga word ain't worth shit. I do it, get it done the way you supposed to get it done. Get them open on the ones that young. Coming off like fingerprints and murder incidents. Consider sick with this, I spit ridiculous. It's assault with the sentences. So a nigga saying words can't hurt and hurt me in the verse. A person with the urge of birth. You can't coerce a common nerve. Worse the murder in the verse. I show you dirt, the reverse of birth. And y'all disperse the hearse is out of service. Paramedics caught him out. Niggas should've caught us mad. When the beef come, we get the sawed out. I know I'm talking about. I blow up my opponents. Blow weed out coronas. I blow heat that's leaving holes inside the donuts and grown-ups. Ain't cuz that want it. Gon' need some blood from donors. Ain't no love up on it. You want the water, tuck on it. For who having problems, I have revolvers that'll solve them. Have them bleed redder than them robins. Have them leaving hobbling. Niggas wanna beef but can't gobble it. Sad young swallow it and spin out. Holler shit, zero tolerance. You getting clobbered in these columns. If y'all niggas spitting and I'm slobbering, defeat is not an option. Plus my diagnostic label toxic. Hotter than the topics when I drop shit. Watch this fire. That's what I want. Carolina. That's where I'm from. Nigga tired of it. Nah, they ain't none. They a liar. And they gon' burn in the fire. That's what I'm on. South Carolina. That's where I'm from. A nigga tired of it. Nah, they ain't none. They a liar. And they gon' burn. Oh, what the men do for insubordination? I'ma end you. Y'all niggas just a plate. I'm like the menu. Take it to the pencil. It'll be like manslaughter. Me against you. Regardless of credentials, I been you. Live conversations. Hotter than the basement of Satan. The livest of these statements in the making. We off to the races. My competition stuck on steady paces. Hit hard like bricks of a mason. Spit ice like the glaciers. Labored in the league amongst the majors. We on your best behavior in my staple. My cattle run the livestock. While we on the road, y'all play the sidewalk. All y'all for the fire from the flames when the minds fall. That's what I want.
Hey, niggas say words can't hurt, ain't heard me in the verse. Yeah. What was my other man name? Said the Don. Yo, you remember Said the Don, yo?
I wonder if Said the Don got some. I really want to hear some more Sad Young.
Oh shit!
They got that on here?
That shit's so country.
Yo, that's who you know that squeeze the blood out of Turner and a dollar out of dime. That I bust your shit to the white meat like them watermelon rinds. Yeah, I know y'all niggas thugs, we ain't your ordinary kind. Niggas conversate about it, but ain't hardly blowing nines. Well, first and foremost, they liable to snatch you out your fur coat. And don't say you weren't told, you done heard about them dirt roads. What most say it ain't so, till they see this shit get unfold and your life getting repo. Then the wrong ones to sleep on. We more than capable of making the front page of the morning paper. From heinous escapers to the unscathed escapists. It ain't no skyscraping, nigga, we dirt jobless. If it's something about the beef, it be your worst problem. Bitch, I had a hearse follow him to obituary column. And notify his mom and them to the title about his bottom lip. Real recognize the counterfeit, that shit is common sense. When it come to my accomplishments, I ain't never had to stop and sit. Y'all boys wanna be men and y'all still teach
Shelling peas in buckets. Yeah, man, too country for y'all, boys. It's too much. Too much.
I'm just as raw as I wanna be. I hear them niggas want war. What's it gonna be? How many niggas want war? Yo. I'm just as raw as I wanna be. I hear them niggas want war. What's it gonna be? How many niggas want war? Yeah. Leave niggas like orphans. Beat the inches of your life. Get popped like them willies on a bike. My siblings wanna fight. Timberland.
Yo, Rich Young. I don't know. How deep is your pockets, homie? Huh? Huh? How deep is your pockets, fool? Show me your money. How much money you got? Y'all remember the first time y'all was a young boy? That was the first lesson the old head taught me. I had like I don't know what it was or whatever. Maybe it was I don't know. I can't remember. I had some money in my pocket for some reason. I was a young boy, like 7, 8 years old. Old head like, you got some money? I was like, yeah, I got money. You ain't got no money. I was like, I do got money. Let's show me how much money you got. I pulled the money out my pocket. Motherfucker snatched that shit. Like, don't you ever do that. Ever show a motherfucker how much money you got on you. Anyway, how much money in your pocket? Let me see how much money you got, bro. Take all that shit. Nah. On a serious note, being serious, my starting price is $400. 400 big bucks. 400 smackaroos, clams, cheddar, bread, cheese, that macaroni. And that's for a canvas that is a 18 by 24 inches. And that is for a portrait of one person from the bust up. You know what the bust is? It's basically like the top of your chest, your neck, and your face. And that's it. That's a bust. Like when you see those little half of statues where it's just a person's head, neck, and you can see like their shoulders and shit, that's called a bust. So for $400 on an 18 by 24 inch canvas, I can paint a picture of one person from the bust up with no backgrounds. It's a very, very simple painting. Very simple. Now, that is the starting point. From there, we can add, more complicated photos in larger canvases, which would obviously mean the more complicated the photo, the more expensive. The larger the canvas, the more expensive. This is not an 18 by 24 inch canvas. This is a large canvas. This is expensive canvas. This is. See, it's only a picture of one person from the bust up, but it's on a bigger canvas. So it all depends on you. What do you want? Do you want a picture of one person on a medium-sized canvas, or do you want a picture of 5 people on a big canvas? And then we can go from there. Send me a picture. I have an info tab at the bottom of the stream where you can see my social media links. You can send me a message on Instagram or Facebook normally. Basically just send me the picture that you have in mind. It's like, I want this picture painted. And then you send it to me, right? And then I'll look at it and I'll ponder over it and I'll think about it real hard. And then I'll come up with a number that's going to make me sad for being so cheap. But since I want everybody to own some of my art, I'll just have to, like, suck it up and take it on the chin. And then I'll give you that number. And if you agree to the number and you say, yeah, I can do that, and then I will require a $200 deposit. So you have sent me the picture. I see the picture. I give you a price. You agree to the price. You send me $200 as a deposit. As soon as I get that $200 in my account, I start working on your painting. As simple as that. When your painting is done, you finish paying me the rest of the monies you owe me, plus however much it will cost to ship it to you. We figure that out by you telling me your zip code. You tell me your zip code. I call UPS. I say, hey, UPS. They be like, yo, what's up, Trap? I be like, look, guys, I got a package. They're like, how big is it? And I give them the dimensions of the canvas. And they be like, all right, where's it going? And I give them your zip code. And they'll say, you know what? It'll cost approximately X amount of dollars to get that there. And I'll be like, all right, cool. And then I'll tell you, hey, you send me the remaining dollars you owe me plus X amount of dollars for shipping and handling. And then once I receive that, then I will mail you your painting. It is so easy, so simple. It's a very, very, I've done this so many times. It works really, really well. You give me money, I give you a painting of your dreams that you will cherish forever and will probably leave in a will or estate sale or something. I don't know, whatever. But it will be very sentimental to you and your family. And you will love it and you will cherish it for all of your days. And then for the simple fact that you love it and cherish it, like when you're old as fuck and you give it to your kids, and your kids are going to love it and cherish it. And they be like, hey, you remember that painting of grandma and grandpa? And then it becomes a family heirloom. And that's how I become famous. Help me become famous by buying my art. Buy my art. $400 ain't shit. If it's for you, you're gonna love it. If it's a gift for someone else, it'll be the best gift ever. It doesn't matter what other, like when you give gifts, normally a lot of people give one person a gift at the same time, like a birthday. Like, it's someone's birthday and everybody gets them gifts, or an anniversary and everybody gets the couple's gifts, or a wedding, or anytime, or bar mitzvah or whatever. Like one person gets a lot of gifts normally at one time. But if you are giving a gift and your gift is a painting, especially if it's a really good painting, it trumps all other gifts. I don't give a fuck what anybody else gets. Like, oh, you got a cruise to the Bahamas for 3 days and 2 nights, and oh, you got this and you got that. And then as soon as they pull out the paint, and they're like, oh my God, this is the best gift ever. And it's always the best gift ever. Trust me. I know this for a fact. I would never steer you wrong, bro. You give an original painting, not like some crappy ass, oh, I took a picture of you and I got it printed out on a canvas. Like, nah, none of that fake ass shit, bro. Like, no, I contacted this artist who who's semi-famous, and I gave him your picture, and he painted this. This is hand painted, oil. It's oil painting. It's none of that watered down acrylic shit either. Yeah. It's none of that watered down acrylic shit, bro. It's that real Rembrandt. That Mona Lisa type shit, bro. What am I looking for? I'm looking for a brush. I need a big brush, like a big wide brush. Wide. Is this on the floor? Shit. How the fuck am I get that? I need a brush. Oops. Ooh, that's bad. See, I just rolled over the picture with the chair, and that's why I tell people, yo, don't send me your photos. Send me a digital copy and let me print a copy of that shit out myself. Cause I'm gonna drop that shit on the floor and roll over with the chair. Or I'm gonna get some paint on that shit. And then you gonna be mad at me cause that's the only picture I have. Like, oh, that shit fucked up now. Told you not to send me your damn pictures, man. I had one person insisting on that shit, yo. Like, no, I just rather send you the original picture. I'm like, bro, then I'm not doing the job then. I don't want it. I don't. If you can't figure out some other way to get this fucking picture to me, bro, I'm not doing that shit, dude. Because I'm gonna fuck that picture up. I'm telling you right now. It's not even a maybe. It's a definite. I'm definitely gonna fuck that shit up, dude. Don't send me that picture. Alright. Got that big brush now. Alright, so I cooked a kind of big dinner last night, so I won't have to cook dinner tonight. Which kind of evens out for the fact that I couldn't come straight home after work. Man, you gotta have schedules, man. Schedules like, fuck, bro. If I gotta do something Monday evening, then I won't have time to paint and cook. I mean, I will have time to paint and cook, but once again, if I do, I would have to limit my video game time. And we ain't about to do that shit. You know? I mean, I'm a professional, but shit, man. A professional what? I don't know. Well, we gonna get some game time in. We not. You know what? You better cook a big dinner tonight and eat leftovers tomorrow, my bro. Oh, you know what? That sounds like a good idea. And that way, I won't have to cook, and I can still have food to eat that'll keep me energized while I'm playing video games. It's perfect. God, my life revolves around eating, painting, and playing video games. You know what I'm saying? I gotta find time to do like chores, and get some pussy up in there. Gotta squeeze everything in, you know. Don't get me wrong now. If I was on a desert island and somebody gave me an option what to bring with me, it wouldn't be art supplies. I tell you that. Oh yeah. You see how I'm flicking my wrist like that? Took me years to learn that shit, yeah. Years of practice, how to do this. You know what I'm saying? Y'all think that shit look like a simple ass motion. It ain't. You gotta take into consideration the density of the bristles, the stiffness of the brush, the weight, the angle, the cut, the amount of paint. You ain't guys. I'm just fucking with you guys. Anybody can do this shit. Anybody can do that shit. But the question is, are you? Anybody can grow tomatoes and lettuce too, but do you? Oh, that's what I thought. Who's he? Who's that? Who's that? Who's that? Who's that? Who's that? What up, bro? Who's that? Who's that?
Just as raw as I wanna be. I hate a niggas want war. What's it gonna be? How many niggas want war? I'm just as raw as I wanna be. I hate a niggas want war. What's it gonna be? How many niggas want war? Yeah. Leave niggas like orphans. Beat the inches of your life. Get popped like the willies on a bike. My siblings wanna fight. Timberlands to the tempo off intro. Letting 10 go to the limo, tinted window. Plenty to the endo. Won't go with my kinfolk. If I'm getting locked, there ain't no question what I live for. Had to let the tires spin spokes in the pinto. Laying down my foes, get left limbo. If it's about that paper, you getting 3 holes like loose leaf. Tossed in a 2-seater, lost out in Goose Creek. Any altercation, get into a confrontation. And niggas getting clapped like chalk. I'ma teach you how to make moves, making bones buckle, show you how to barrel slam. The dirt hurt you on the ground, believe that. Cause you already died and kept for that. Your ego done soared your ass and got a blast. And I guess y'all love them caskets, wanna sleep out in the pasture. Nigga call the pastor for these bastards, it's evident. These lyricists done been through some shit, ducking the fire. Nigga, I done been in some shit. You checking my click, nigga, I catch a charge in this bitch. And tell Mercy he can suck my dick. No playing, no quitting this war, nigga. Yo, I'm hitting my raps and deadly bender, making these fuck niggas surrender. Either I'm knocking the beginners or I'm dropping the top contenders. Doesn't mean to be God do tender. All of them know I'm the winner, cause I be folding them up and never open them up. Return to sender. You best to worry, nigga, you better be the best of burn me. If you testing ain't worthy, I lay you to rest in a hurry. I'm running the game and the rep left early. And there's some niggas is left still trying to test. I'm making them jet like test the birdie. I'm shit talking with these lips I'm riding with. Letting y'all niggas know what time it is. This nigga, he got more bar game than I've been seeing. So all your boys, and when you see me holding toys, cause the bad situations, they develop fast with Polaroids. Fuck that you about your background or attitude. What y'all niggas plan to do and your man to do. I can be your enemy or friendly as Hennessy. It really don't matter to me. I challenge the beef and ramble in peace. Lead it cease with my cannon release. I speak it how I be and be it how I see. Seem to me niggas be with envy. They headstrong and showing no signs of empathy. To them I send the infantry. No matter if we knock them down or buck them down, let's touch them now. Sending out them rapid rounds, protecting crime and duck it down. Or you think we fucking around? You bound to pay the cause heard. Spitting for the coalition, pistol gripping Mossbergs. Haven't heard a false word since y'all niggas eyes closed. Yeah, they talking cease at the barrel of a snub nose. Riders by the truckload, extra ones for cargo. Them tied down and drug foes. Left for dead on dirt roads. It's war, nigga. I hate them niggas want war. What's it gonna be? How many niggas want war? I'm just as raw as I wanna be. I hate them niggas want war. What's it gonna be? How many niggas want war? I'm just as raw as I wanna be. I hate them niggas want war. What's it gonna be? How many niggas want war? I wish I was spitting hard like that. I wanna be. I many niggas want war? What's it gonna be? How many niggas want war? You done fucked up now. Tell them, dog, it ain't no way, no how. Tell them, dog, that you can
Not
hold
Bub
that
Moran.
down. Tell them, dog,
Yo,
give your
Bub
ass
Bub
to
Moran was from my hometown. Yeah. Yeah, this shit got Bub Moran on it. Like when I first started rapping and freestyling and shit, yo. You know, I like cause I was kind of young. I was like 14. Yo, motherfuckers was hearing about my little freestyles and shit. And me and one of my cousins did like. That's how old I am, yo. The first little shit I ever recorded was on a karaoke machine with a double cassette player on that shit. So you record. We had this little beat, so the beat playing on a tape. On one tape, you got the beat on the tape. You playing that, and on the second tape, you're recording the beat in the microphone. So you rapping over that shit. But you had to do everything in one take, yo, because it's hard to, you ain't gonna like pause that tape and then pick back up if you fuck up or something, yo. So to get the whole fucking song done, yo, everybody gotta do that shit perfect in one take. And got down, so I had like this one little song floating around and shit, people was liking that shit. And then we was at the talent show one night, and motherfucking Bub Moran was out that shit, yo. Somebody said something. They was like, "Oh, Trappy Rap." He was like, "Oh, this that little nigga who think he this shit, yo." And man, this motherfucker, he was like, "Yo, what's up? You want to battle? You want to battle?" Yo, we had like a little freestyle battle. Yo, I was whack as fuck. I ain't know how to freestyle battle. It was like my first like official freestyle battle. So of course, like he already had like mixtapes out, doing like shows and shit. So he got me. But anyway, I still remember this motherfucker. Bub Moran. After that shit, I started calling his ass Bub Moron. Yo, that Final Fantasy VII, bro. I watched like somebody play like the first hour of that shit. Yeah, that shit. What? Oh wow, did I really did that. Cause this nigga ain't paying attention. What the fuck you paying? Son of a bitch. Yeah, Final Fantasy VII is the only Final Fantasy I really beat. I had that one, and then I had which one ever came after that one, but it like wasn't the same. I don't know. It was something special about Final Fantasy VII, yo. That shit was just like the perfect game at that time, yo. And like I was already on some other shit, but that was the only turn-based game that I ever really enjoyed playing. And after that, I tried to play some other turn-based games, and I just don't like that shit. Even that one something is it something with an X or something like it's a newer one that came out a few years ago. X Factor, I don't know, but it's like aliens or something, but it's still kind of like turn-based. Like those shits ain't fun to me, man. But I still remember like really enjoying Final Fantasy VII as a game, yo. That shit was, I don't know. I said it was a perfect game for the time, yo. And I actually beat that shit, yo. Cloud, Strife, and was it Sephiroth and that shit and all that shit, yo. Final Fantasy VII. Never played any of them before then. Like I said, only ever had two Final Fantasies, and I was like, eh. But the Chocobo races and all that shit, man, damn, that was a good ass game. Because there's a thumb here. And I painted right over it with white paint. Knowing there's a thumb there. Like you can clearly see her thumb. But no, me getting so heavy-handed. Swiping my brush so fast. Swiping my brush so fast. Rolling downtown. My bad. I digress. What were we listening to? Some South Carolina shit, bro. Cause we had that music back in the day, man. I don't give a fuck. Nobody say, man, yo, that shit was popping. We had that shit popping, you know what I'm saying? We had that shit popping in our areas at least. Too bad y'all motherfuckers ain't never pick up on that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's y'all loss. Y'all missed out on some good ass music. So I don't feel bad. I was there. I know what it was about. Shit was hot, son. Motherfuckers was doing that shit, son. Yes, sir. Up all night making beats, writing rhymes and shit. You know what I'm saying, son? I mean, to the wee hour, trying to get right. Doing a couple shows and shit. Still remember that shit, yo. Like, I ain't the best performer, but we did some shows. Some little shits. I performed by myself one time. That shit ain't, I mean, motherfuckers ain't even, I couldn't even get the crowd hype. Motherfuckers just stood there looking at me. Because I was in a different town, though. I wasn't a local. A local guy, it was like extra hype. One dude tried to sauce the crowd by throwing like, it wasn't up but $100, but it was ones. You know, 100 of anything flowing around. That shit look like a lot. It's 100. It's like, nigga, that was $100 you threw just now. Calm down. Calm the fuck down. Them ain't 20s, bro. They're ones. But NT Ways. XCOM. That's the name of that game, yo. XCOM. And that shit looked high and it sounded interesting, but I tried to play it and I was like, nah, I can't do it. Sorry, XCOM. You may be fun. You may be fun for someone else, but not for me. Could not play XCOM. And it was free one time too. Like, I don't know. I download all the free games. Man, not even half of them. I only play half them shits, yo. The last free game I played was they gave us Dirt. That Dirt game. Man, I ran like 3 laps and uninstalled that shit. Like, fuck that. No, not an uninstall. I just deleted it from the homepage. Took that shit away in the library. You never know, just in case I have somebody over like, you got some racing games? Yeah, I got a racing game, bro. It's called Dirt. You want to play that? Have at it. It's a finger. Yes. Remember my homie Big Trav had some shit too.
Stupid ass look off your motherfucking face. The fuck you expected? Sam Young and B Lord. You keep that melodies and pine cones. That mean I'm riding home where I was born, we're out of time.
No, I didn't mean to do that.
Stupid ass look off your motherfucking face. The fuck you expected? Sam Young and B Lord. You keep that melodies and pine cones. That mean I'm riding home where I was born, we're out of time to watch. They tone, I don't stay long. Any beef for SC, it ain't never hit your best screen and say you where the cat is way. Lay you flat on your face, put you where it's barrels of hay and rattling snakes. As your legs and possum for days. Probably found a rot in the cave, shot in the face. Should have had his Glock in his waist, his mind his place. I'm the makers. We don't wanna talk, wanna leave you in the going stalk. That's when your back appears and leave him in the back of beer. We ain't about that live shit that show up for the prize shit. Disrespecting our shit, get bound with a car shit. Out in wall heat, laying under straw trees, starting to draw bleed. Where the cat is in the hall beat. Niggas sleeping, better believe that they can bleed. When we selling peas, I be where it's felonies. What you fellas better be is on heavily. How you gon' cook the beef if you ain't got a recipe? We high and got high blood pressure, so a nigga gon' die that won't stress us. Where I'm from, please believe it. You see palmetto trees and pine cones. That means I'm riding home where I was born. Where out of towners watch they tone. Look off your motherfucking face. The fuck you expected? Sam Young and B Lord. You keep that melodies and pine cones. That mean I'm riding home where I was born. Where out of towners watch they tone. I don't stay long. Any beef for SC, it ain't never hit your best screen and slay you where the cat is way. Lay you flat on your face, put you where it's barrels of hay and rattling snakes. As your legs and possum for days. Probably found a rot in the cave, shot in the face. Should have had his Glock.
Put you where there's, wait a minute, where there's barrels of hay and algae and lakes and cattle for days. Yo, how country can you be? Oh my God! One more time from the top, man. And then his accent, yo, it's unmistakably Southern, yo. Palmetto trees and pine cones, dirt roads and barbed wire, cow fields. I leave you with the cow shit.
Stupid ass look off your motherfucking face. The fuck you expected? Sam Young and B Lord. You keep that melodies and pine cones. That mean I'm riding home where I was born. Where out of time to watch they tone. I don't stay long. Any beef for SC, it ain't never hit your best screen and slay you where the cat is way. Lay you flat on your face, put you where it's barrels of hay and rattling snakes. As your legs and possum for days. Probably found a rot in the cave, shot in the face. Should have had his Glock in his waist, his mind his place. I'm the makers. We don't wanna talk, wanna leave you in the going stalk. That's when your back appears and leave him in the back of beer. We ain't about that live shit that show up for the prize shit. Disrespecting our shit, get bound with a car shit. Out in wall heat, laying under straw trees, starting to draw bleed. Where the cat is in the hall beat. Niggas sleeping, better believe that they can bleed. When we selling peas, I be where it's felonies. What you fellas better be is on heavily. How you gon' cook the beef if you ain't got the recipe? We high and got high blood pressure, so a nigga gon' die that won't stress us. Where I'm from, please believe it. You see palmetto trees and pine cones. That means I'm riding home where I was born. Where out of towners watch they tone and don't stay long. The land of sticky fries and barbed wire. Possum, spoons, and coons. This is where I'm from.
What's your attitude, okay, pal? Fuck you.
Go home, pal.
Yeah, go. You don't know who you fucking with. I'm from a small town called Fresh off a Cop's ass. You're making me homesick.
That motherfucker, Robin Harris, your baby kids.
Like you, Pennsylvania American Water likes to test the water, and we really test it with advanced sensors, real-time notifications.
I'm from a small town called Fresh off a Cop's ass. Making me homesick. what is that other track? What's that song where he was robbing the dude, yo? And he broke into the dude's house.
Yeah. Still in the sad young. Understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Time out. Yeah. I ain't holding no grudge, I won't ain't thug. I forgive you cause gangsta just ain't in you. I don't run from it, I come from it, and I don't play with it. I stay with it. When I spit, it's like you lighting dynamite sticks. I'm beating up the track like them police swinging nightsticks. G's moving silence, but deadly as AIDS virus. Y'all be wanna try me, the nurses pushing your ivy. Oh, we don't play games. We cock barrel, take aim, fracture your A-frame. The police chief for take names. Firearms enormous and heaters so electric. Burn you like the oven at a bakery. Go ahead, talk to this shit you do to me. It's time to really unity. Just cause you tie a rag around your ass don't mean that you a G. Niggas get tatted up and they sweaty automatic talk. I tell it automatic bust. I'll just to tally up. Hot eye, how you hitting notes? Hide in my ride. We carry on in case niggas wanna carry on. Violate right and you gon' see me late night. Masked up, tape tight. Them holler tips will take flight. I ain't holding no grudge, I also ain't thug. I forgive you cause gangsta just ain't in you. I ain't pissed off, y'all this shit get soft. I ain't catching feelings cause y'all niggas ain't killing shit. I don't run from it, I come from it, and I don't play with it. I stay with it. I don't run from it, I come from it, and I don't play with it. I stay with it. Don't let your mob piece put your air on high grease, lay you up in IC, strapped to the IV. Paramedics caught him out, and him should've called his mom. I flip like the spatula in the Waffle House. Watching my bitch your lip, my constituents to get your pistol whip. They don't miss a lick, they send a missile when you piss it. They ain't got the 4-5. We can knuckle up and throw fists, or we can go the distance and cock it and load no pistol. That SK, cripple in his kneecap, he's back for the bull. Get the full clip, put you in the wheelbarrow. Come in this alley, finale, I splatter your anatomy. Bitch, I might go into a prison, blow it like a chimney. I load it, cock it and load it, the empty, don't kill me. I bring the racket like Andre Agassi and tennis practice. Y'all just get yapping, cock and put the pistol in the action. I ain't holding no grudge, also ain't thug. I forgive you cause gangsta just ain't in you. I ain't pissed off, y'all this shit getting soft. I ain't catching feelings cause y'all niggas ain't killing shit. I don't run from it, I come from it, and I don't play with it. I stay with it. I don't run from it, I come from it, and I don't play with it. I stay with it.
I don't run from it. I come from it. I don't play with it. Stay with it.
I bleed that OG, bleed that loyalty.
I remember he did that song with Cujo, yo.
I don't know if he. I don't think I was. I was with him when he performed that shit though.
My wrist, I'ma bleed that shit. I'ma drip that shit. I'ma leak that shit. That shit fake, I don't need that shit. Hating on a nigga, that's a female shit. Everybody hard on the email shit. When you see them to the face, they don't be that shit. Look them in the eyes, don't believe that shit. Cut them on the wrist, they don't bleed that shit. My heart pump G till my heart don't beat. I'm an OD on loyalty. All I really know is the OG way. It's embedded in my bones and my DNA. And in my muscle, all of this hustle, it ain't no buster. Realest of niggas that ever done did it is all in a cluster. Nothing but gangster, feeling my veins up, and it won't change up. Rolling the dank up, counting my bank up, holding my bang up. Middle of my finger, into the thing, I give it to haters. Everybody wanna be around me, if I another round of affairs, I can roll another L. Bleed that OG shit. Everybody wanna be around me, if I another round of affairs, I can roll another L. When the weed gone and the lean gone. All the liquor gone and them bitches gone, love blowing in the wind. Love blowing in the wind. Love. When the weed gone and the lean gone, all the liquor gone and them bitches gone, love blowing in the wind. Love blowing in the wind. Love. Party at my house, everybody tanked up. Grandmama funeral, nobody can't come. But go to jail, go broke. See who stuck with you. Niggas got a way of showing you who really fuck with you. 10 times out of 10, niggas will fold. So you better do it solo if you know like I know. They'll hide you in a hole, feed you scraps in a bowl. Your whole youth stole, they'll watch it grow old. Shit, why they wanna see you down? Why they wanna see a nigga locked up doing time? Why them niggas be fake? Why they can't show love? Why them niggas gotta hate, huh? Why they wanna see you down? Why they wanna see a nigga locked up doing time? Why them niggas be fake? Why they can't show love? Why them niggas gotta hate, huh? Bleed that, bleed that OG shit. Bleed that Lord T. When the weed gone and the lean gone, all the liquor gone and them bitches gone, love blowing in the wind. Blowing in the wind. Bleed that, bleed that, bleed that. I bleed that, I bleed that, I bleed that. I bleed that OG shit. I bleed that Lord T.
Party
What
at
is
my
the
house,
biggest and
everybody
most
show up.
profitable
My grandma's
market you
funeral,
can think of?
nobody can't come.
How about this
Get the
one?
fuck out
Current
of here.
world
You know
population.
what? Bleed
Seven-
that OG shit. What time is it? Oh, we got 2 hours in here. Shit.
Matt, I just want to say before, in case this conversation gets heated, I'm a big fan of yours.
I've been running my mouth most of the damn stream.
Yeah, I like your logic, the way you think. And
Do I deserve to go to hell? I'm sorry. I shouldn't saddle you with Mark stuff. But go ahead. What'd you have for us
no,
today?
I actually don't believe that. But I just want to say I learned a lot of debating skills from you, and especially the null hypothesis. That helped me a lot, and stuff like that. Yeah, like when I used to debate other theists, it took hours sometimes because I was busy trying to convince them why their position is wrong. Now it just takes minutes. All I got to do is make sure they don't shift the burden of proof. That's it.
Awesome. So this call should go amazingly.
Yeah. I just want to ask you something. I heard in a couple of your shows way back, and some not so way back, you said a few times, you talked about how the Bible, you said the language died out and we can't really know the true meaning, like God didn't protect it like he should have, and Jesus, you can't really prove he exists, or if he did.
Well, those are two different things. The Bible is written in Hebrew, Greek, and Aramaic, and Hebrew is still around, although it's fundamentally changed in much the same way that you hand Shakespeare to an eighth grader right now, they're not going to have a clue what he's saying, and that's only in a couple hundred years. And you do the same thing with Hebrew. There are idioms that vanish, and nobody speaks Aramaic anymore, apart from scholars who've studied it. But
Right.
and so languages change and die out. And the point that I tend to make about that is that if there was a God, he should be smart enough to know that it's useless to deliver an eternal, everlasting message in languages that are going to die out and change, because then you have to come up with clarifications and revisions. But that's separate from whether or not we have good reason to think that Jesus existed. Fitz was on last week. Did he talk about historicity a lot? Yeah. I'm waiting to do a video with Fitz, but my thing is not that Jesus didn't exist. It's that I don't have any good reason to think that he did, but I'm okay with the notion that he did. It doesn't matter much.
Okay, let's take those two things that you said about the Bible and about Jesus, two separate things. You have no good reason to believe Jesus existed, and the Bible, it's in languages that died out, and with the Constantine thing, things were added in and things were taken out, and stuff like that. But why would you use those arguments if they didn't really matter?
Because they matter to the people I'm talking to.
Yeah.
If I'm talking, you can't be a Christian. You can't be a Christian and doubt that Jesus existed, died, and was resurrected. I mean, that's kind of at the foundation.
Yeah, do those arguments matter? Like, not matter. Do those arguments strongly disprove Christianity? Do you use those arguments mainly to disprove Christian? Are those the top two why you shouldn't be a Christian?
No, I almost never use either of them. I'm not a mythicist. If I thought it could be demonstrated that Jesus didn't exist, I would use that, because that's the death nail. I mean, because then you just go to where Paul says that if Jesus isn't risen, then all of our faith is in vain. And if he didn't exist, then he wasn't risen. So I mean, that the idea that Jesus didn't exist is a death knell for Christianity. Now, don't get me wrong, they'll come up with some way around it in order to hang on to it, but matter of fact, I don't have any particular argument that I start with, because my goal is not to disprove Christianity. It's to get someone to demonstrate that what they believe is reasonable and true.
No, not to disprove Christianity, but to give the reasons why you shouldn't believe Christianity. Those two things.
I don't know. I would imagine.
I bring those up.
I would imagine they are among the many.
Yeah. I mean, I actually lean more toward the mythicist side. And it's primarily because the idea of some itinerant Jewish rabbi running around preaching some message of salvation during that time is pretty unremarkable. There were probably hundreds of them, if not hundreds, at least dozens. it was not an uncommon theological movement. So I don't think that's a remarkable claim at all. I think that it's much more plausible to me that this character that we've labeled Jesus was an amalgamation of maybe a few or maybe many of those itinerant rabbis. And, you know, like a lot of people about whom stories were told like that, a lot of supernatural stuff got bootstrapped onto the legend. And so,
I agree.
So,
Paul
you know,
Bunyan
the supernatural
and Johnny
stuff we
Appleseed
can
and all
pretty
these
well dismiss out of
motherfuckers. Kris
hand.
Kringle.
That's you know, that gets bootstrapped onto lots of people.
No, I agree, and this is where I'm going with this, because I'm glad you said those two arguments weren't really the main ones, because if they were, then how would you explain like Islam, for example, because those two arguments doesn't work with Islam. The language of the Quran did not die out.
They don't work against other religions.
Existed.
What claim doesn't work against Islam?
The Quran, you can trace it back to the original transcripts of word for word, letter for letter, in a language that did not die out, which is Arabic, and the Prophet Muhammad, for a fact, existed because people that weren't Muslim, that weren't,
Jacob, I get it, but when I have an argument that shows a problem with Catholicism, what good does it tell me that it doesn't apply to Baptists? It wasn't intended to.
Yeah. No, because if those two reasons are reasons not to believe Christianity, maybe those two reasons are good enough to at least consider Islam. Because,
no, that's not the way this works. You know, hey, when I show that there's a problem with Catholic teaching, does that mean it's a good reason to be a Baptist? No. My go-to, if there's any argument that I'm prone to using more than any other, it's the argument from divine hiddenness. And this is because it's just a proper application of skepticism to point out the sort of things we would expect from a God who existed, and that none of those things ever happened. And, oh, by the way, divine hiddenness applies to Allah as well.
Well, and the other thing is that if you were going to make an argument that, you know, what I just said about, you know, my reasons for leaning toward mythicism, and not to say that I think Jesus was a myth or anything, I just lean in that direction more than, you know, more than not. But if the argument that this was an amalgamation of a bunch of itinerant rabbis preaching a similar message, but they were ordinary humans and not the Messiah, wouldn't that be more of an argument to be Jewish?
Yeah, but then you have to actually look at at least, you can't just look at it one way. You have to actually put their beliefs to the test too.
Right.
Well, of course.
Yeah, but the thing is, I find good reason to at least consider Islam. I do, because
I'm not. Hang on.
Yeah.
I love the language. I find good reason to at least consider Islam. I've considered Islam.
Yeah.
I don't care whether or not somebody found a good reason to consider something. I care about what their reasons are for thinking that it is likely the case.
Okay, let's go back to you said Allah hides his divinity. I agree with that. You're never going to actually physically prove God exists, but that doesn't mean...
Are you going to be able to detect God in any way?
Okay, this is how you would detect him, and not directly like you say, like if you existed, I never have to see you, I never have to see anything written from you, I never have to hear your voice, but there's still ways to prove that you exist. Maybe someone who communicated with you.
That's not proof.
Someone who seen you.
That's not proof.
It can be.
No. I mean, depending on the witness that you're talking to, the person, it might be evidence.
And the circumstances, it certainly can be evidence, and it can be sufficient evidence if we're talking about something mundane like another person. Just like if you tell me you just got a new pet dog, that's a completely trivial claim. I know that there are dogs. I know people keep them as pets. I know people frequently get dogs as pets. And so I'm willing to accept your claim. I'm not convinced that it's completely true, but I'm willing to accept it at face value. If you tell me that you have a cousin, I'm going to accept that at face value too, because it doesn't fundamentally change anything about my world. Okay? But if you tell me that there's a God, I need something more than, oh, I met and talked to this God, because I can hear that from hundreds of thousands of people about hundreds of thousands of gods.
Yeah, and they could be wrong. So what avenue or what way can we detect if a person that talks to God actually did talk to God?
Do you talk to God?
No, in Islam, there's nothing like that.
Sure.
Talking to God or seeing God.
I get it. Jacob, stop. You asked me the question that I asked you. Can we detect God, and how?
We can't detect them.
Was that can or cannot?
No, we can't detect them in that way.
Is that can or cannot?
No, we can't. C-A-N-T, we can't.
C-A-N-T, okay. Okay, stop. If you can't detect God, then you can't have any justification for believing that a God exists, because then you would be claiming to detect the undetectable.
Yeah, but what if somebody did know God and said he speaks to God and he provided evidence and God...
What evidence? Once they provide evidence, if the evidence is sufficient, then haven't you detected God?
Yeah, and that...
Okay, but you said that God can't be detected.
Yeah, but what I meant is like physically see him, physically speak to him, like...
Why not? Can't God physically appear? Can't God physically appear?
He can, but he doesn't do it.
Okay, he doesn't. So he's hiding. He's hiding from detection, right?
So he actually explained that because we're not physically capable of seeing him.
Why not? Why didn't he make us?
Yes, he did.
Then why didn't he make us physically capable of detecting him?
Just like he made some animals not be able to fly. We're not physically able to see him.
Okay. Wait. There's stories in the Bible of people who witnessed God.
Well, that's not the Quran, maybe.
Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah, it's not. There is nothing like that in the Quran. Moses asked to see God in the Quran, and he showed them just a piece of his light, and he couldn't take it.
Okay. But doesn't that count? I mean, here's the thing. You're God, and you create people, and you create them so that they cannot detect you. How can you possibly fault them for not detecting you?
You have to listen to the messengers and the prophets he sent.
No. If there's a God who's intelligent and good, he should know that he can send as many messengers as he wants to me, and that will not be sufficient to justify my believing their claims.
Yeah, but if the message is perfect without contradiction.
How do you know the message is perfect without contradiction?
Because
it's for once it's been protected.
How do you know that?
It hasn't changed it.
How do you know?
You can date it back. These are in the museums. Real.
But no. Having access to the originals doesn't mean something's perfect. And even if something was perfect, that doesn't prove there's a God.
Yeah, but it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't prove there's a God. But you have to see the message if the words, when it was written and Muhammad was illiterate, so he could not have written those, on his own. I mean, thought of those on his own, So things like that, the people that knew.
And so let me get this straight. Your beliefs are based on a founder of a religion who was known to be illiterate, but somehow he wrote this stuff, and you think that's evidence of a God?
It was oral tradition. He relayed it to his followers, and they wrote it down to him.
Okay. So what?
Yeah. So what? And yeah. Again, how do you determine that was perfect? How do you know that he told the story right?
Okay, there's certain miracles. One of them is a linguistic miracle. And the way it was constructed,
A
there's
miracle.
certain things that you
Linguistic
cannot...
miracle.
Yeah, but there's certain things that you cannot relay verbally through oral tradition and still have it constructed the way the Quran was constructed.
Why?
It's like it's because it's very, very difficult to do.
Okay, very, very, very difficult doesn't mean impossible, and doesn't mean that it's a miracle of God. And plus, you referred a minute ago, you were talking about look at the content of it. Well, okay, let's look at the content of it.
Yeah.
You're saying that there's nothing in the Quran that's problematic at all?
No.
What about saying that menstruation is an illness and that you should stay away from women who are menstruating until they are cleansed? That's not accurate.
Where does it say that?
In Surah, stop. You ask a question in Surah 2:222.
Have you actually read the Quran?
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
No, you don't know what I'm saying because you just asked me where it was. And I told you something which you agree is wrong, and then you asked me where it was, and I told you, and now you're going to try and tap dance. Is menstruation an illness, and should you stay away from women until they're cleansed afterwards? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Refrain from having sex with them. Yes, from sex. Not.
No. It says you're not supposed to be around them.
No. That was before Islam.
But hang on.
Change that.
Jacob,
Yeah.
What's wrong with having sex with someone who's menstruating?
We're told not to.
Why?
Why?
So,
What will happen to you if you do?
I mean, nothing will happen if you.
Okay, so why would the surah say? Why would the Quran say not to do it?
I'll have to look into that. Then it says not to have sex.
I have to look into it.
Stay away, but I would have to look into that.
Well, I don't know that it doesn't say not to stay away because there's other verses on this as well. I'm just talking about this particular one. It says it's let women alone at such times and go not unto them until they're cleansed. And when they've purified themselves, which is probably talking about some ritual purification in the eyes of Allah, then go in unto them as Allah hath enjoined upon you. But the thing is, if there's absolutely nothing wrong with having sex with someone who's menstruating, why bring it up in the first place?
Nothing wrong that I know, but
Does the Quran portray women as equal, with equal rights?
Yes.
Yes.
Different than equal. Different than equal.
Do they have equal rights to property? And they can walk around wearing whatever clothing they want? They don't have to be escorted by men?
Equal protection under the law.
No. I didn't say anything about the law. I said, are they equal? Do they have equal rights? Can they do the same things? Can they hold the same jobs? Can they wear the same clothing? Can they go out on their own in public?
Yes, as long as they're covered in the way that.
Oh, in other words, yeah.
Yes, as long as they're covered.
Uh-huh.
Congratulations. You just put your women and your religion in a horrible bag that I'm going to chuck aside as we go on to another call.
The Muslim dude calling in like, yo, he only come at Christians. He can't come at Islam. Like, you're wrong. All right, guys. So we got the yellow done. We got the background with a coat of paint, and we got one hand and arm done. And we'll come back tomorrow afternoon and do the next hand and arm. And then we'll, I don't know, depending on how dry it is, we might start back over and start the second layer on the face. We'll see. You never know. It may be dry enough. May not be. Alright guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna go grab some leftovers and play some video games. and watch some Attack on Titan until I fall asleep. Appreciate y'all chilling in the studio with me, checking out the progress on the portraits. Peace. Till next time.